Morning, afternoon, everybody. Morning, Dub. How goes? How goes things, sir? I'm just going to do some online research, hoping you guys will join me and we can crowdfund some research here. I want to look into Joey WEBBER and the infamous tracker and see what I can learn. This one is bugging me because there's something wrong with it. He doesn't appear until Tuesday, but I thought I'd start it off with a really nice tribute that came out on CTV Atlantic, I believe it was CTV Atlantic, about Tara's family. So I wanted to share that first. And then morning, Plaid Army Girl. Morning, Loretta. Afternoon. Whatever happens to be the case, Kelly. Okay, so again, in case you guys missed, I'm just going to be, and hoping that you guys will join me, I'm going to want to do some crowdfunding or crowdsourcing research on Joey WEBBER and the tracker, and try and keep my shiny things mind on Joey WEBBER and the tracker. And if you guys can help me out and do your own research along the way, and we can try and see what we come up with. Sound fair? Sound fair? Thought we'd preface this with this nice video tribute that was out about the Tuck family. So let's start with that.
Tonight, musical memories as we learn more about the victims of this weekend's mass shooting. Many are sharing stories and tributes to lives lost. That includes 17-year-old Emily Tuck, who was killed along with her parents, Jolene Oliver and Aaron Tuck.
As CTV's Kyle Moore shows us, the grade 12 student is being remembered by a former fiddle teacher, a passion she shared with the public just weeks ago. Kyle?
Hey, Missy.
Good evening, Jason and Katie. Well, whether you live here in the Sydney area or at the other end of the province in Yarmouth, it seems everyone is connected in some way to this tragedy.
Somebody very close to me was killed with her parents. Emily Tuck was my student.
Through the sound of music, the memory of the youngest known victim of Sunday's mass shooting lives on.
She was just very, very pleasant, and there was just something about her that softened my heart, and I just wanted to teach her.
Your contribution to the COVID kitchen party.
It was just a few short weeks ago, 17-year-old Emily Tuck picked up her fiddle and played a tune, a joyful distraction from the quarantine blues. It was the very first song Sean McDonald taught Tuck how to play.
I wanted the world to know that this kid had a future. I wanted the world to know that this wonderful young lady had a talent, and now it's extinguished.
Emily, along with her mother Jolene Oliver and father Aaron Tuck, were among those killed. McDonald says the family did everything together and were tight-knit.
This fine family didn't have very much. They had each other all the time. Aaron, her father, would come to lessons and just sit down behind her as I was teaching her, and he'd be beaming with pride all the time, and never ever missed a lesson.
Extremely shocking. Jordan Butler went to school with Emily when she lived in Cape Breton and was a very good friend.
I'm always going to remember her as a friend that was always there for people and somebody who was very caring and very gifted musically.
For McDonald, in his 30 years teaching the fiddle, he says he has never lost a student, and took to social media last night to honor Emily with the very first song they played together.
When you have a tragic loss, whether it be Emily, Aaron, Jolene, or any person that's lost their life due to the COVID-19, music will give us some kind of solitude and comfort.
And Jason and Katie, 4 hours away from the small community of Portapique, Nova Scotia, here in Sydney, flags are at half-mast outside City Hall as we continue to mourn and learn about the victims of this tragedy. Back to you.
So, very nice tribute to Emily and Jolene and Aaron. Howdy, Tam. How goes? Okay, so like I said, we'll try this. We'll try this. I don't know. I just generally do research on my own, but I know all you guys are doing research together. So I want to try and just focus on Joey WEBBER and the tracker and find out as much as we can about the about that. So this, I've only got some bits of data so far. Joey WEBBER, to the best of my knowledge, was doing a family errand. He was going to go and pick up oil, I believe, heating oil, and for the family, and he got in the Shuby, apparently in the Shuby turnoff, he was killed. And I have heard reports, though unsubstantiated, that he was put into the back of one of the cruisers that was on fire. Again, sorry, this is not the most pleasant thing, but that's what I've heard. However, it's really kind of odd that the tracker doesn't come along until the Tuesday. The Tuesday is the first time we hear any kind of mention of Joey WEBBER. So that's kind of strange. And there's never been any pictures of the tracker, and very little details on Joey WEBBER, which I find very interesting. So if you find anything, please let me know when you do. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of just surf around here and we'll see what we can find. And if you can, whilst I'm doing that, do it yourself too, and let me know what you come up with. That would be great. All right, so here we have a friend. I believe this is the counselor. Is this the counselor that has spoken out about the who's kind of said that he was doing the chores? Okay, no. Family friend. This is good to know too. Trying to keep a list of all the victims, kind of people who knew them. So Joey WEBBER is Darren. How's everybody doing today? Baz and son. Okay. Can't stay, but you can rewatch. I don't think it'll be anything terribly exciting. Just kind of surfing around. Hopefully you have a good day. Looks like it's beautiful outside today. Maybe I'm turning into one of these people that's a basement dweller. However, I'm not in my basement. I think it needs to be your mom's basement or something too. Or so it goes. WEBBER later moved in childhood, partner, Shana McLeod. Okay, so here we have Shanda McLeod. Okay, so we have a partner, Shanda McLeod. I'm not doing anything here to dox anybody or anything. I'm just trying to establish some facts because the police are very quiet about Mr. WEBBER and the fact that he comes up so late in the story. I mean, if they would have noticed the fact that I believe that he was dead and he didn't come up until much later. Now, if he did get burned in the car, which is terrible, obviously, I should have said a prayer. Maybe I will pray. Dear Lord, guide us today so that we can do your will. Please watch over the families of those that have been so terribly and They will never be consoled, but please bring them as much peace as possible. And please help me and those of us that are here do your will and guide us, protect us. Amen. Webber was a woodsman. Webber's father ran a forestry business. Okay, so they have a GoFundMe. Perhaps from the GoFundMe we can learn a little bit more personal background. This is just kind of personal background type stuff, but again, here's, obviously I'll drop the link here for this GoFundMe if you feel so generous to donate. It's gorgeous outside. Can't wait to fix your gazebo. All right, Plaid Army girl, have a great time fixing the gazebo roof. Hopefully there's not too many holes in it. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Hoping that this story is not going to die. Okay, so we got the name of the partner. Aha. Bazon's last memory of Webber. Okay, he found the wallet. Oh, yes, I remember reading this story. He found the wallet, the family friend. Okay, he was told that he told his family he was going out to get furnace oil at the Milford gas station. Let's have a look at where Milford is in relation to the Shuby turnoff. It's not terribly close by as I recall. I mean, it's not far away, but let's go to Millbrook. After his getting his oil. Webber would have driven along Highway 2 in the Shubenacadie where he came across the spot had killed Heidi Stevenson. So if we center this properly north and we go south to, where are we here? Oh, goodness. That's not where I want to be. Not in England. All right, so that's Gina's house. So here's Highway 2. So yes, all right, he could have been there then. Said Webber would likely have stopped upon seeing what appeared to be police officer on the road carrying a firearm. Now that's purely speculative. He doesn't know. Nobody does know. He's just speculating totally when he says this. Unless we can find a witness that says, yes, I saw him stop. And this is what's bothering me. I'm not finding anybody saying anything. And the fact that Gina Goulet's house, so that's their story, right? Is that he had this accident over here at the turnoff, right? Right here. There's the gazebo. It would have been right around here that this would have all taken place, the 2 fiery car crash stuff. And then he would have taken the car, the tracker, supposedly, and gone to Gina Goulet's house, who lived... Is that her house there? I think it's this one right here. Yes. Is this her place? 198. Yeah. So this 1.8 kilometers, which is why I find this tweeting business about the RCMP using, just so that you can follow why I'm having a real problem with it. RCMP, Nova Scotia. Oh gosh, they're just flooding the Twitter feed. That's the stuff about Heidi. Okay, so this is why I have an issue. They speak about the silver SUV at 11:06. They speak about the silver SUV confirmed in the Brookfield area at 11:06, and then silver tracker at 11:24 in Milford. And that does not really relate to, let's put in Milford. Oh, balls. Okay, so you can see he's already supposedly gotten rid of the tracker by now. And he's driving Gina Goulet's Mazda. So I'm not sure why they're tweeting out about this at this time, and also the fact that he's driving it for such an extended period of time. That's 18 minutes to drive 1.8 kilometers when neither of these areas are Brookfield. Let's look at Brookfield quickly here too. Brookfield. Nowhere near this. This is where he was up here driving the cruiser by this point. Still, this is much, much earlier in the story. He was driving the cruiser up in the Brookfield area, right? So why are they tweeting out about that? And why are they tweeting out about that? This whole piece does not fit. I don't know if you guys are following what I'm saying. So this is why I'm having a problem, because they can't be tweeting about the silver tracker when he's driving at 1.8 kilometers. That's like a flash in the pan. You wouldn't even notice it. Sorry, I'm just going to see what you guys are up to over here, see if you found anything. 8 Point Fire. Hey, Mercer, how's it going? What I don't know is staggering. Toodles. I saw you posted a response to my question, I think, which I do want to look at. Halifax Examiner. Halifax police held back mass murderer. I can wink at the camera if I use it. Well, I'll just say that that was you that put me onto that. I'm going to look into that, but I got to keep my mind on the target, so to speak. Joey WEBBER. Joey WEBBER in the tracker. So if you find anything, please drop it in the chat. And thank you for that article too. Wow, just tragic. Tragic. Okay, so not much there. Let's see what else we can find here. I don't think you get a lot of people talking about who he was as a man and his family, and not a lot of details. Oh, and the other thing that concerns me is how quickly the RCMP cleaned up Gina Goulet's house, where he apparently abandoned the silver tracker, right? They cleaned that up ASAP. It was done within 3 to 4 days of all of this going down. The second insurist, I'm assuming that they just knew each other. 145,000. Oh, wow. Well, hopefully people are feeling so generous and can donate to Tara's legal fund. That would be good. So the connection between Gina Goulet and Mr. Wortman, I think, is just because they work together in the same field, I'm thinking. And he may have had a grudge. Horses. Da, 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 da. Okay, so he told me this is the regional counselor. This is the guy I've read about before, Steve Streatch, and so this is where this all comes from, is apparently WEBBER's father, who now I guess we have the father's name, Tom. Again, I'm not doxing anybody, I'm just researching. Tom WEBBER, father, and this was his partner, was Shonda. Did you say you have 6 kids? Quick. It was a very quick cleanup. No, it was not as near as quick as the Mercer. It was not near as quick as the Quebec Mosque. That was less than 48 hours, I think, which was pretty fantastic. Very, very good. So it's hearsay what Mr. Streatch says also. Quote, he told me his son was out on a family errand that morning over towards Shubenacadie. He was innocently left the area and quickly came upon the face of evil and met his untimely end. So it's very upsetting, obviously terribly upsetting, but why is it that we know so little about this tracker? And I don't even know what we're going to come up with, but because I've been digging around already a bunch for this. Hundreds ride in motorcade, right? He liked his stock cars. Okay, I don't know as we're going to have a lot in here. And I've seen no video at all either of the in the Shubenacadie or Shuby turnoff where there's a tracker. In fact, one statement that Darcy Sack said never made sense to me, and I'm still, if it makes sense to you, please let me know. Darcy Sack, okay, Nova Scotia, Shuby resident. She said, let's see here. Where is it here? Find Darcy. Darcy Sack, a Shubenacadie Shuby resident. I don't think I'm ever going to get this one. Said she and a friend came across 2 burning police vehicles and the silver suspect went out driving. Quote, "We were right behind the police car that was on fire. There was one officer we could see on scene, and then all of a sudden he went running toward one of the burning vehicles," Sack said. "We heard gunshots." And then down here, she said, I had that feeling that something was wrong with the police officer's partner. The way that he looked, my heart went out to him. I'm presuming she's speaking about the officer running around. And then goes on further to say, Sack said they turned onto the highway and then saw the shooter in the silver car again being chased by police. She said he was dressed like a police officer, which there's no mention previously of the silver tracker at all. And then she suddenly is behind him and she sees him, but she also sees that he's dressed like a police officer. So I mean, the statement seems totally incomplete to me. Do the RCMP have the tracker? That's a great question. I believe the tracker, and they say was at Gina Goulet's house, 198 Highway 224. Is that right? The other denturists, and he drove from the Shuby turnoff, that 1.8 kilometers down to morning, Mike, down to Gina Goulet's house, shot the dog, shot and killed her. The dog didn't die, to the best of my knowledge, and then changed clothes into civilian clothes. Looks like he was wearing a wife beater in the picture, and stole her car, the Mazda, and then took that Mazda down, not just a short distance down to Enfield. So when they cleaned up the site, you're going to have the silver tracker there, supposedly. But I don't think the silver tracker was there. I think the RCMP cruiser was there. Are you going to hear that ever? No. But I think that's why the site was cleaned up so quickly, because the cruiser never was involved in this fiery crash scene stuff. Speculating, just doesn't fit the timeline. So the silver tracker would have been at Gina Goulet's house, but it's not. And CTV Atlantic showed, I don't think I ever took a still of that, the outside of her house where there was, I know I showed it in a video though, a still of her house where they had the memorial, and it was written up. What is it? Actually, I think I do. Let's see. It was a CTV article. National Post, Warmington. Stories from Nova Scotia? No. CBC. Was it this one? Let's look and see. There was a video attached, and it showed their house. Copy, link. Let's just have a quick boo here and see if this was it.
As we hear from
I don't think this was it. No, it's not this one. Ah, there we go. Right there. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this, I'm going to take a still of that. So we can see that this is Gina Goulet's house. Let's see, where's that? We'll pull up her house. Google Earth. I didn't close Google Earth. Where is it? Ah, balls. Petitions. Friends, please take a second to fill out this petition. What's the petition, Dub? Try saying manicotti, then say it. Shu ben Nikati. Okay. Shubi. I'm just daft. So if we look at 198,224, that's Gina Goulet's house, right? And if you look, we put the person down here, we can have a little look, and you're going to see it's the same place. Oh. See? Now she's got, looks like surveillance camera here, which is interesting. But if we zoom out and then look at the, where were we? Oh, it's over here. Look at this. This is the same residence, right? So this is dated, either this was filmed on April 22nd or April 23rd at the latest. So they had this cleaned up by Thursday when the shooting was done on Sunday, right? So they had this cleaned up very quickly, 4 days. Which is strange. And this is the, so you don't see any crime scene photo or tape or anything like that. They've got it fully like cleaned up. And of course, there's no vehicles there, no silver tracker. And as I speculate, no cruiser. So this is why I'm having a problem, because I want to prove the Shu ben Akadi. Shu ben Akadi. Is that better? Elaine, have I got it? Elaine sounds like she's from down from Nova Scotia. Are you from Nova Scotia? People always run around and call me Seamus and all kinds of other things amongst the host of things. So I just figure it's probably, I have terrible pronunciation. Okay, so that kind of gives you a background why I'm having some issues with the tracker story. We're getting very few details. We're getting it from third-hand information. We'd have never seen the tracker. We've never seen any footage, the surveillance footage. We've never seen surveillance footage from anything hardly at all, except the one leaked tape. And a couple of people who had some filming of the, according to the timeline, the timeline is with, if you sew in the, who sent that to me? That was an excellent thing. Where is that? I don't want to dox that person though. I think I saved it actually though. Because they do know people, funnily enough, who are involved in this, and they didn't want to get on any kind of lists. They said that they would help out. Where is that timeline? They did this up, which I thought was very well done. And they had a couple of additions that they've got now to this timeline, but very well done. And they know the locations. They've gone and looked at them. Just some really excellent on the ground detective work. And then of course you can see down here, this part doesn't fit into things. They're tweets about this silver vehicle, which they would have never seen at all. So C must, well, that works. I don't know. You can call me whatever you want. Canadian prisoners have full access to dental denturists. Do your research before making petulant claims. I'm not sure who's making petulant claims. Correct on both accounts. You pronounced it correctly. And yes, I'm from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Howdy, Elaine from Nova Scotia. So, has anybody turned up anything yet? After the collision, Stevenson's vehicle and the killer replica vehicle were burning. The shooter was no longer able to take advantage of the patrol car that RCMP officials have said was virtually identical to the authentic vehicle. Okay, and then we move along. Are they gonna talk about WEBBER? So here we go. A passerby, Joey WEBBER, stopped and was fatally shot by the gunman. WEBBER had gone on a family errand to, let's see, I'm going to have to go back to my pronunciation chart here. Shubenacadie. Geez, that actually kind of came out. Shubenacadie. The gunman would later be killed in Enfield. So do you see how little there is here? Like, this is what we have. A passerby was killed. The shooter managed to get out of his car, kill Stevenson, take her sidearm. A passerby, Joey WEBBER, stopped and was fatally shot by the gunman. How do we know that? Is there a body? Because if there was a body, why didn't they mention it? Why did it take till Tuesday to say that WEBBER was there? Unless it was that he was incinerated, sadly, in the car. But then you're talking about, well, he has to shoot Stevenson, take the sidearm, flag down WEBBER, shoot WEBBER, drag his car out, or drag the body out, put the body into the car, light it on fire, light the other cruiser on fire. Meanwhile, you've got police, apparently in the scene, leveling their guns at something and dragging bodies away. How does this fit? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Like, it's just a problem. Where is it? A photo of them right here. Like, both cars aren't on fire by this point. There's just one. And there's a body down here. Who is that? Is that Stevenson? We don't know. And where is WEBBER's body? This all seems very wrong. There's a problem here. So let's just continue. So I don't think there's anything in here. He liked his motorbikes. He liked stock car stuff. Let's try witness. Oh. Must include witness. this isn't even related. 2015. Oh, paywalls. Sorry? One of the 5 structural fires. They can't do what they said. It's just not possible. 34 minutes. First calls came in 10:01. Burning houses. 3 houses. I'm reading different numbers now too. I've been trying to go through that, but I thought I understood it to be 9, but I think now they're saying 13 people died in Portapique. So here we go with the councilman again, who lives 4 houses away. This is who is speaking. And like, this is all you have on Joey Webber. Where's the silver tracker? Find. Oh, fuck off. Globe and Mail's paywall you can't bypass either. Let's see. A witness sees the vehicle leaving through a field. No, I think they've got that one a bit. A vehicle. A 4x4ing. Find Webber. Oh. 10:48. Stevenson continues on Highway 2, confronts the gunman, 23-year-old, engages the gunman, and is killed. Joey Webber, a resident of Shubenacadie, is driving by the scene, stops to help, but is killed by the gunman. The gunman takes Stevenson's sidearm and ammunition and Webber's SUV. I found this. This is down, yeah, right by Enfield. See, this is where I'm having the problem. Thank you. Somebody actually says it. On Twitter, RCMP say the gunman is driving a silver Chevy Tracker and was last seen in Milford. The gunman is actually driving a Mazda 3 and it is in Enfield. Like, 2 different places, 2 different cars, same time. And yet they're confirming it. They're saying, oh yes, no, absolutely. No, unless we've got some funny physics going on in this world I was unaware of. Saltwire. Saltwire's taken the RCMP to court, so they sound like they might be friends. Debert, find Webber. Okay, that's his funeral. See, here we go again. The gunman is actually in Enfield. And he's not in a silver Tracker. He's in a Mazda. Which they got fucked up, that one too. They said it was a red Mazda. They said it was a red Mazda in their last set of notes. Totally wrong. Even though they have access to all of these body cams, everything on all of those SWAT officers, they can't get the color of the vehicle right. Something really screwy. Exact time unknown. Well, what are they saying? The gunman changes out of the uniform. Exact time unknown. Gina Goulet. Here we have that he's driving the silver SUV when he can't possibly be driving the silver SUV. Not possible. Unless we have screwy physics, because that's quite a distance away. Oh, they're saying it's down here now. That's interesting. See? Again, on Twitter, RCMP say the gunman, now believed to be driving small silver Chevrolet SUV southbound on 102 in Brookfield area. The gunman is actually in Shubenacadie. Do you see? This is totally fucked. And yet they still leave those tweets on their line. They'll take out the picture of him because that one's highly embarrassing because they didn't identify him. What time did they identify him finally? Even though they went to the father's house at 5 o'clock in the morning? I don't think I'm going to get in too much trouble with Frank by saying this. Let's see. Frank Magazine. I went off and subscribed to them. And they have, I'm not going to show their stuff because I think he's very picky and he's writing very good stuff. But you see here, I will show just the beginning part of this article. He says at 5 or 5:30 in the morning, the police came to his house. So they already knew who it was at 5 or 5:30 in the morning. And yet, when was it that they publicly identified him? When was that tweet made? Let's look, archive.is. Archive.is. Shubenacadie. Shubenacadie? No, Shubenacadie, isn't it? Or Shubenacadie? I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to lose my mind over that. What is it? RCMP Atlantic? Or Nova Scotia RCMP. Nova Scotia RCMP NS. Okay. Copy. Let's go back to archive. Okay, I already have that in there. Bang. So here, what time was it? You can add 4 hours to this. 9 o'clock in the morning. So 4 hours after they had identified who it was that was the shooter, then they're going to tweet people and tell people, oh, by the way, tweet. Which somebody made a very good point. I forget who that was last night. Said that 11:40 he's dead. 11:26 he died, Loretta. But that's what they tweeted, right? He's in custody at 11:40, 14 minutes after he's dead. I can't remember who pointed that out last night, but again, very smart point is even if you're on Twitter, doesn't matter. You would never get notified unless you were following the RCMP. So how many people at the time, does it say how many people were following them? $89,000 followers. 89,000 followers. Out of a province that has, how many do you guys have? 800,000? Nova Scotia? Oh, not mass shooting. 971. So less than 10% of the population follows the Twitter line. And again, you're going to also see that, see now they've picked up a bunch since the shooting. But less than 89,000 people followed it at the time. And of course, not all of the people following that are going to be our Nova Scotian residents even. They're going to be news reporters, et cetera, other police organizations. And Twitter doesn't even notify all the time. And who has audible notifications for tweets? 60,000 on Sunday? When was this screenshot taken? I think I took this screenshot. The 20th. So you're saying that, yeah, wow. So what? What does that make it, like 7% of people, of the whole population followed them? This was an absolute fuck up on their part. And of course, so they're massively culpable. Let's try search by date. Let's try. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday is the first time he's ever mentioned, which is odd. So let's go. Let's try 19th and see if he's mentioned. April 19th. Okay, so this is touching tribute, so that's after the fact. That's not a valid article. Confirmed Joey Webber, father of 3. Okay, so when was that? CTV said that? See, this is Thursday, April 23rd. It's been updated. Find Webber. CTV News confirmed. So were they the first people? And never returned. Is among the victims. Who did they confirm with? The RCMP? The counselor? The father? Did he just disappear? Anybody come up with anything yet? On MySpace. Is MySpace even ever around? I'm trying to get right the Chronicle from the Chronicle Herald. 435 potential witnesses, of which they've interviewed, 200 and some at last count. I would love to talk to any of those, but of course none of them are saying anything. Where are they all? Okay, so I'm not the only person that has problems. Shubenacki. Shubenacki? Is that right? Can I just say Shubenacki? Have I just been making it super complicated this whole time? Shubenacki? That's actually relatively easy. Shubenacki. Okay. So, and there you go. See? So on the 19th, this wasn't confirmed. Obviously, there was very few that were confirmed by that point. Let's try on the 20th. Now, this is interesting. It's the Star, so it's going to be behind a paywall. The Star already had this by that point? Ooh. Ooh. That's news. Wow. I stand corrected then, if this is right. Updated on the 27th. Monday at 10:20. Find WEBBER. Oh, not we. No, not in here. April 19th. Updated Thursday, the 23rd. Well, we know that he was on there by then. Web sleuths. Shubenacadie. Find WEBBER. Didn't come home. This is this very extensive timeline, of course, mid-late morning. Time unknown. Updated, April 21st. Tuesday, 21st. Tuesday is the first time I think he's ever mentioned. He was added later in the picture. There were, and the other, who was it? Family. Joy and Peter Bond, they were added late too. That was because their house was on fire and they got, sadly, died in flames. 23 dead so far. Let's see what. Find WEBBER. Only one link. My granddaughter's mother was friends with one of the victims. So I don't think he comes out till Tuesday, which is awfully odd, right? Shouldn't they know? Or was he in fact put into the back of the car and burnt to death, so they couldn't identify him? I don't think I'm going to find anything on this at all. It's just really bugging me. Let's go. Oh. Let's do that. Was running an errand. Up forth beside what looks to be a police vehicle. I believe this is Darcy Sack again. How can you send me one from Global News? Okay, here, hold on one second. There you go. Now you should be able to send it, Loretta. I don't know why there isn't just a thing I can select so that people can put links in the channel. But and yet another comment of mine is shadow banned on CTV video. Let's just have a quick look at what they did over on CBC's video about. I'm doing shiny things again, but CBC, Clinton Ellison. Let's see if they've deleted those messages.
Yeah, this was 10 o'clock.
Oh, of course, my account's logged in, so it's going to show mine, even if they've shadow banned it. Oh, doc's still showing. Oh, excellent. Missy, thank you, with big flags. There seems to be a lot of errors. They have a lot of explaining to do. I see lawsuits in the future. Oh, so do I. Big ones. Time to blame everyone and everything except guns and do some gold digging. Jeff, thank you. Oh, he said this a week ago. Very good. Wow. So I didn't even notice that, you know, because I just kept playing the same video and then I was going to link it. And I noticed it. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Great eyes, this Jeff. Who is Jeff, I wonder, when he's at home? Is he from down there? He's got good eyes. Good eyes. Great eyes. Okay. Anyway, so they are apparently leaving up some of these comments. Find WEBBER. Nothing. Motorcade. The only way that all these, let's just see what, I haven't read through some of these boards. Kiwi board has some good stuff on it. I've never read through. Did you have a link there, Loretta? Sort by the newest. Oh. Yeah, well, I closed the window. Let's find, because I think other people are seeing what issues with the timeline. And the silver tracker. This contradicts other reports that the victim's Joey Webber's silver tracker, or maybe he took 2 silver SUVs along the way. Yeah. Either way, Gina and Joey were both senselessly killed by this monster. He was seen in a fake car at 11 a.m. I can't see how he would have time to steal 2 separate times before they caught up with him at a gas station a few minutes later, if they had him by about 11:15. It wasn't 11:15, 11:21. Apparently, was when they engaged him and then killed him 11:26 and then tweeted at 11:40, we have him in custody. Anatomy of failure. Only way the pieces fit is if he left the crash scene in Joey Webber's silver tracker and switched at Gina Goulet's Mazda 3 a few minutes later. Like literally, it would be like so quick. 1.8 kilometers on a highway in the middle of boondocks. Nobody would have seen this vehicle. So I don't even know how the police are talking about a silver tracker for 13, 18 minutes, whatever it works out to be. Yet I realize. Looks like grayish brown to me. Well, that's not what they said in their official notes. It was red in their official notes. I wonder if they've changed that. Where is that? RCMP speaking notes. Okay, this is the new one. And now they don't even say anything. This is just their little pin map. I should save this. Here, I think they've just changed it to put Mazda, no color. Oh, no, here we go. Red Mazda. Gina Goulet's car has a funny way of changing colors. The gunman removed police clothing he was wearing and transferred his weapons to the female victims. Of course, where did he get the clothes from? The burning car. I guess he had clothes. He got those out because Gina's single. He was wearing and transferred weapons to the female victim's vehicle, which was a red Mazda 3. So somehow between Gina Goulet's house and Enfield, he ends up in a gray Mazda 3. And anybody who says to me that this is a typo or something like that, look at your keyboard. There's no way to mistype gray and red. Absolute bollocks. Here we go. Loretta, thank you. Going to open that link now. Let's see what she's come up with here. Detailed timeline of how Rampage unfolded. Somebody just messaged me too. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I hope I'm not swaying anybody's opinion. That's not what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Now, find Webber. He fatally shoots Stevenson, takes her weapon. A bystander, believed to be Joey Webber, arrives to help, but is killed by the gunman. The gunman takes Webber's silver SUV. See, like all these journalists who are writing about the tweeting have to be either really stupid or 1106. He kills and takes the Mazda 3. So what do they tweet out at if you put them side by side, what are they tweeting out? Oh, I should save this. 2. I'm pretty sure I have it, but now, what are they tweeting out? Like they give you, why did we care about this? That doesn't factor in. Where's their tweets? Oh, balls, did I throw it away again? Like, you have to be daft. Seriously. you hold the two beside each other, they totally contradict each other. 11:20, okay. Silver SUV. What time is this at? 11:35. 11:35, he's dead. $11:35, he's dead. Unless they didn't know who the hell they were shooting. Do not approach him. He's dead, though. So, did they not know who they shot? And then say that he's in custody 5 minutes later? But, where is it here? So this is at what time? 11:06, 11:24. So 11:24, this is why the timeline, if they're citing the tweets, but they're leaving out the part about the fact that he's driving a different vehicle. So they're either really stupid, incompetent at doing their job, i.e. the media and the RCMP, or they're complicit, the media. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Ian, what's up? What's up, Ian? Matt? It was human error. Yeah, we're not that Timmy. If anyone has 10 to 12 gauge, possibly. Okay. Once you chokes. All right, you guys are just having your own conversation here. All right, I'm going to keep plugging around here. Where was I? Webber. Joey Webber. There has to be more than just what they're saying. This has to be. It's completely nothing. There's nothing there. There's a logger, wasn't he? No, I think that. Is that the same Joey Webber? No, the father was a logger. Friends say okay, let's stop with the hero. Find Webber. Webber was shot and killed when he stopped to assist at the place where Constable Stevenson was gunned down. Heating oil. Is this why they're saying... Are they going to say that he took the heating oil from the vehicles and burned the vehicles? Passerby Joey Webber stopped, fatally shot by the gunman. Webber had gone to do a family errand. The gunman would later be killed. Like, do you not see? There's like nothing here. There's no validations of anything. There's nobody saying, I saw a silver tracker stop. Go away. WEBBER. Okay. Aha! Aha! Steve Streck is related to him by marriage. Very interesting. His sister-in-law. Wow. Very interesting. Why is he referring to himself as a neighbor? Who is married to Steve Streck. Streatch. Husband. So the guy who's coming out and saying that he was on the family errand refers to himself as a neighbor, even though he's related to him by marriage. And this was the guy who was talking right away about it, how he died. And he's a council member. Wow. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a tinfoil moment there. Tinfoil is going on. That's just spooky because he refers to himself as a neighbor. Right? Let's see. NEI neighbor. WEBBER. Steve Streck, who lives 4 doors away from WEBBER, but he's related to him by marriage. This young father, this is from his Twitter feed. Steve Streck, this young father was one of my neighbors. This is getting weird. Let's just validate that his wife is Teresa Gold. Let's do a search for Steve Streck. Oh, balls. Oh, fuck off. Steve Streck. Teresa Gould. Organized by Teresa Gould. Find Teresa. Have I misspelled that? No. Joey WEBBER, Wife and Daughters Fund, organized by Teresa Gould. Teresa Gould needs help for Joey WEBBER. Shirley Gould. This is where he's from. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that, but that's where Joey Gould is from. Where's this tweet? Is it just a typo? Or are they actually related? Shooting by his sister-in-law. Divorce court. Are they divorced? Opening when completed. Find. According to Teresa Gould, the organizer of the fund. What if WEBBER was seen what if WEBBER, sorry, back to your comments here. I feel really silly wearing this hat. Okay, Suzuki sidekick. Interesting indeed. What if WEBBER is the guy seen running from the burning cruisers and the cops shot him and disappeared the tracker and pinned it on? Yes, I think that's where I've been going in my theory, is that the police accidentally killed him. But that's a good thought. That's a very good thought. Could it be that man who was running away in the video? Let's watch the video again. I mean, it's not going to tell us anything conclusively because it's such a short scene. And oh, this is Blue Apples. You kind of do see him, I think. Yeah. Why are they going down into the gully? Where is it? Can we see it in this one? There, right there. Somebody running away. I know silver tracker, but the theory would be that he's gone.
Oh my fuck. This is fucking crazy. Is he in there? like shit. We should move. Like, what if he's alive?
Why are they going in the gully? People, please give me your theories why they're going down there. Wonderful people. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say is what Todd's saying. Because the silver tracker can't fit, but yet they keep it. And there's so little about him and they don't want to talk about it that my theory is that he got killed. Stevenson got killed, and Morrison were shot, and those are all police. Morrison and Stevenson's friendly fire, I think, it may have even been between each other. I have no idea, but police friendly fire, and Webber killed accidentally by the police because the silver tracker simply doesn't fit. Gouldo. But I'm still curious what people think about the policemen going into the gully here. Why are they going down there? And who do you think that is running away? See the policemen going down in the gully. What are they doing down there? Remember, that stupid photo I've got in the background is them combing in the dirt there for stuff. What are they combing for? Here they're going to go wandering down into the gully.
This is so
Slowly and casually.
He's in that car. They're dragging him out. They're dragging somebody. Oh my god. That's it.
That's a real problem, folks. You just killed your company problem.
Oh my god.
I just killed a real cop right in front of us. They've already drugged somebody behind the car. There's somebody wandering off, running away.
Crazy.
Is he in there?
Do any of the other... No, they're too late in the game. Both cars are
Like,
engulfed.
we should move. Like, what if he's alive and he like shoots? Try.
They have their guns out. Well, of course they do, but...
Is he in there?
Now, you see in the background, there's a vehicle. And I've wondered what that was too. Could this be the tracker? Or is that another police vehicle? Let's see if we see any flashing. There's smoke and stuff in the way it obscures it, but
Oh god.
there's that vehicle.
Fuck. This is fucking crazy.
Now it's clearly stopped. Is the person running away, running from that vehicle? You can see it in the background still through some of the haze. Maybe I'll have to get the unenhanced version.
This is fucked. This is so fucked.
He's in that car.
He's in that car. They're dragging him out. They're dragging somebody. Oh my god. That's it.
That's a real problem, folks. You just killed your company problem.
Oh my god.
Who is he referring to? Jesus, this one is a mess. Looks like another police car. Looks like an SUV with a roof rack or a light bar. Looks like a police SUV, but not sure. What does flowers mean? Just nice way of communicating with each other. Look under cars. Looking under cars. Okay. Maybe went down to look under burning cars. Why would they go down in the ditch to look under burning cars? In this animated cartoon. Thanks, Pointfire, but that's I'm looking to solve it. Every problem in this world has a solution. Okay, so let's go back. You guys got lots of stuff coming in here. Right. If Webber is the guy seen running from the burning cruisers, cops shot him. Okay, so yeah, we've Gould 00. If GW ever remotely had a tracker, it would be paraded on TV as evidence. It's Gonzo. Yeah, I think that's what I've been saying. I think it's the Belvedere of this case is the tracker. You're never going to see it. Webber is 100%. Because if Webber is 100% on RCMP or SWAT. Hit the like button. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. You like the tinfoil hat, do you? Well, I'll just put it back on for you. There you go. Just for you, Missy. I think the UFO theory is the most believable. Well, we're getting more truth probably from NASA and stuff. Never a straight answer, but same with the Mazda. It is only mentioned in the news, no real pics. There are. There's lots of pics of a Mazda down at the shooting, right? Here it is here. Right? And they're combing through the vehicle. So this vehicle is the vehicle. I'm sure if we ran that plate, what is it? Not that I have a way of necessarily running something, but FNZ257, it's going to come back. I'm fairly certain it's going to come back to Gina Goulet. But that would be a great question. Anybody who has access to CPIC or something like that, or registries, to look up Nova Scotia FNZ257. That's the vehicle that apparently Wortman was driving. So I think we do have pics of the gray car. Which, what was it? What did he call it? Red? He called it red? I don't know how they got that wrong. And he was reading from a script. So here we go. Red Mazda 3. He was reading from a script, so it was very carefully prepared, and they obviously had lots of body cam footage and all kinds of stuff. Obviously tons of police officers witnessing who would have written all of their reports, all saying a gray Mazda. Somehow they came up with red. Don't understand that, but whatever. You can see the headlights. You're always into interesting things, bro. Keep going. Anything possible. Thanks, Pepe. Anything possible. All right. Hi, Pepe. Pepe, awesome. I did see one at the picture. Yeah, okay. So we've got the Mazda. Lucky. The theory is that theory is the only one that makes sense. Yeah, it's the only one that fits the timeline. Because if you time it out, let's just run, what is that? Google Earth, Google Maps. What was the place called? Puktew. I think it's Puktew. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the place that's the, they have it marked over here, but it's this. So if we ran from, there's the red hall, right? That's where the surveillance video that got leaked out was from. So if you run pick to trading post and then put to, oh, sorry, to big stop, Enfield, driving time, 36 minutes. Just driving time. So that makes it 10:55 plus 36 minutes is what? 10:31, right? If the time is accurate. If you go by the police timeline, to which they say the video stamp on the pick2 trading post is wrong, and they say now it's 11:25, 11:51, 11:01, that gives him 20 minutes. 20 minutes to do all the things, and that's why I'm having such a problem with this leg here, because for 20 minutes, in 20 minutes, he's going to carjack two people, or sorry, carjack one person, kill Webber, put Webber in the car, set the car on fire. I'm going out of order here. Shoot Morrison. So if I'm going in order, shoot Morrison, then get in a head-on collision with Stevenson, then get out of the car, shoot Stevenson, take her gun, then flag down Webber, then kill Webber, then put Webber in the cruiser, then burn up the cruiser and his car, then take Webber's car over to Gina Goulet's house, then kill the dog, then kill her, then change his clothes, then take her car, find her car keys wherever they are, take her car, drive down to the Big Field truck stop in 20 minutes. He's got to be a fucking superstar. Honestly. He can't. So the only thing that I'm thinking he can do is he can drive straight to Gina Goulet's house. So what's that? 198 Highway 1228. So let's put another one in here. 198 Highway 228. Is it 224? Is it 224? Maybe it's 224. No, it's not. I think it's Highway 228. And you put that up here. Oh yeah, it is 224. 41 minutes. Using the police now revised timeline, that is 26 is 11:06. That gives him 15 minutes, right? To sadly kill Gina Goulet, shoot her dog, find her keys, change his clothes, and drive to the truck stop to where he encounters the police. And I'm sure that I actually saw that he encounters the police actually at 11:21. Encounters police Wortman 11. I know I saw that somewhere, or it's in one of the. No, that's the time of the article. So let's search for everything with 11:21 in it. It may have been in the speaking stuff. 11:26 shot. There was an encounter. I'm sure I read 11:21 somewhere. Anyways, that's just 5 minutes. But it doesn't add up. Okay. Let's going back to your stuff. Looking for parts that blew off or information that floated down that was on fire. Looking under the cars. Plaid Army girl wants to say hello. Taking away from the other cops getting to get their story straight. The cops in the gully could have been getting out of the line of fire, and the SWAT are pointing in the general direction of the runner. Not a hard stray round nailed him. So we have that one interesting picture, right? This one. And they're clearly pointing their guns at somebody. Somebody is by the wheel well. So this is earlier than the video, right? I'm thinking. Earlier than the video. Is this from the same people? The reflection of the dash. The defrost vent. I'm wondering if this is the same people. And they took a photo before they started doing video. So they've got their guns leveled at somebody. And the body, which I think gets dragged around to the back of the vehicle. We only have 2 members out at this point. 2 of 4 in the video. So I think this picture takes place. What are your thoughts? Takes place before the video or after? And I think this is where they may have accidentally killed Stevenson. Looks like black. Okay, what happens here? I get so lost in the comments. Okay. You think there's a second person? I don't think there's a second person. I don't think so. Okay, people smoking weed like it's air. There you go. He's letting people know. Bless all of you in Jesus' name. Thank you, Pepe. RCMP are military police, military. And all trouble you for one moment. Are those army men no, they're not. They're not army people. They have police marked on their vests, on their body armor, on the back of their body armor. Let's see, I'll just pull up a photo. So if we zoom in, you can see that it says police, right? So all these guys have cam footage. Do you see on their helmets? They all have cam footage. So mistaking this Mazda is absolutely absurd. Absurd. Put on the full armor of God. There you go. It's logical with how poorly this was handled, because I refuse to believe the entire RCMP office would be in on it. No, I refuse to believe that too. There's tons of good police officers. Tons of good police officers. But the RCMP cannot afford to look bad in the public's eye. This diminishes their power, right? Their authority, they think. It's very short-sighted. because it's actually backfiring on them badly. So there's still someone a large, I don't think so, smoke weed, I don't think so. No second person. I don't think there's, I agree, Corey, there's no second person. The timeline is just wrong, but it does fit if you just have him going straight to Gina Goulet's house, which means the tracker, WEBBER, and the whole Shuby turnoff nonsense is all on the RCMP. Plaid's looking for Missy to do a stream. Naughty, how's it going? Yeah, there's lots of good cops. There's lots of good cops, but that line, honestly, you can't cross that line. I'm thinking the video was staged. The two are way too calm, and if the shooting, you won't be able to watch. And yeah, they were really calm, sauntering down into the, I used to say that, sauntering down into the, what are they doing? I mean, they're just walking casually, you know. Meanwhile, there's bullets flying around. I think there are, but I just can't get how they're, even what they're after. Lots of East Coast people in here. Super. Did the officer who wrote out the timeline do it under the influence of hard drugs? Perhaps they had help from, who was it? The staff sergeant. Uh, 10 kilos of coke. Maybe they had help from this man writing out the timeline. Perhaps. He had lots of coke. Maybe Wortman gave up some of his coke. I don't know. Lots of interesting things. Tanya has dug up about kind of informer and things like that. We were talking about that really late the other night. You guys are having a flood down there? Floods blow. I don't think you can get flood insurance in Canada anywhere. I know, like, lost a house here right on the river. We lost a house, and yeah, no flood insurance. We could never buy flood insurance on that place. Likely there were a few dozen people who were shot victims. Well, we know of 3, right? 2 in the Portapique area, which haven't spoken publicly. We don't know who they are. Again, very strange. If you've been shot, why are you not saying anything? Nobody's saying anything. Everybody's just quiet. Mum. It is hard to keep track of. That's why you know, I keep notebooks and files, and of course you can see it's just a mess, but I try and keep it somewhat smart or straight in my brain. All right, lots of talk about weed. Lots of good ones out there, I agree, but if they're good, they're looking the other way. Are they looking the other way? I'd say there is this culture within the RCMP. You cannot speak out. You cannot say anything, because that would diminish who their perception, or so they believe, in the public's eye. So they can do zero wrong, and that's why you have heard no apology to anybody involved in this, whether that be because of the fire hall shooting, whether that be because of the failure to issue the emergency warning, even though they were apparently writing it and were about to finish it, but the dog ate the homework and Wortman died. Even though they were repeatedly calling them, please send us this. I was digging up some stuff about that today. Where was that? I thought this was a very good article out of the Star. And I'm going to try and get in contact with some of these journalists, because they're going to be the good journalists who are actually willing to write about this kind of stuff. Where was it? The time, the emergency warning, they talked about it. See, of course, then they're talking about the stuff that we were talking about last night, about destroying the equipment, everything, the equipment, sorry, all of their gear. I don't know where I put that article. Must be open, and I just haven't bookmarked it yet, I don't think. Got the first name of this guy too, the victim of the 15-year-old. His name's Matthew, but he didn't want the last name out there. And I didn't know about this. I don't know who did, but apparently Wortman tried to bribe him. And what was the other thing? His uncle, he paid his uncle out full when they sold the property. Here we go. All the proceeds from the sale. He paid him out. Again, this guy just liquid cash. Lots of liquid cash around this guy. Nova Scotia Premier Stephen McNeil said Monday that there was no request from the RCMP to the Provincial Emergency Measures Organization, the EMO. I thought it was Management. Emergency Measures Organization, to use the system. On Tuesday, McNeil told CTV Atlantic more could have been done. Quote, I would say, with the benefit of hindsight, the depth and breadth of this should have been communicated more widely and with a number of our agencies, but let's let that unfold. My main focus right now is to support the families. But thank goodness, at least he's coming forward and saying, you fucked up. And the EMO repeatedly contacted the RCMP, repeatedly contacted them. Please, can we activate the emergency alert? And the RCMP were like, well, we'll get to it. The dog ate our homework. Because this is my theory. They have to use Twitter. They were hoping this would go away. I don't know how in their godforsaken mind they could possibly think that this was not going to come out, but somewhere I think they actually thought this. But never forget, let's see, sorry, where are we at here? The whole thing, this whole world is not real. The world actually literally isn't real. I've learned that. Like, so much of this stuff, the history is all bullshit. They tell you something and they're feeding us all kinds of lies all the time. Lying. And there's one thing in this world that drives me absolutely bonkers, is lying. I can't stand liars. But never forget, the police may go smoothly in authoritative times. However, once it's over, trials are over. All men overboard and under the bus, but so they will pay if they choose to ignore. They're not making any friends. I mean, I hope they can see that. They're not making any friends. They're making people scared. That's what this article indicates. Sorry, not this one. This one indicates, and other like articles, in the wake of Nova Scotia shootings, here's how the police say you can be sure that you're dealing with a real officer. Well, stop saying that they're buying gear online and all this other stuff and calling it equipment and saying it's in the hands of CERT. It's in the hands of CERT because of police involvement, because police did something very bad here. And the fact that they say weapons in the hands of CERT, Wortman's weapons and the investigation in that is in the hands of CERT, that is not a civilian investigation authority. So where is he getting the guns from? I think the RCMP. Somebody in the RCMP was really dirty. And they have to cover it all up. They just make sure to hire men, yes, and yes, women. Reprogram and bam. The state of police now. Absolutely, Little Miss, absolutely. And when officers speak out against this stuff, they get thrown under the bus. There was another case I saw of a couple, what was it? Married couple in the RCMP, something about dating. And they're suing. She's suing and he's looking into it. Lifelong RCMP people. And they're suing the RCMP. This bureaucratic, bungling monster of an organization, which is clearly befuddled, but they can't even understand colors. Red, gray, time. Oh, we'll just change that. Oh, we'll crop that out of the picture. I think Wortman was an undercover, went rogue. Well, again, I'm not going to go too tin foil. I think there is an element of drugs here and people keeping their mouths shut in the RCMP. I feel like I've been awakened into the Twilight Zone. Perhaps you need some more weed. I don't know. If you're looking for a drug angle, you'll figure in the biker clubs. Yeah, yes, I've looked into the biker clubs. I've looked into the release of a couple of very key individuals. The Hells Angels, what is the other two? There's 3 biker organizations down there. Lots of drugs. I was really sad to learn that about down there. You know, I have this perception of Atlantic Canada, which is very, it's only, you know, what I've seen and things like that. I've never actually been down there. So sadly, I want to go one day. But I had a very, you know, like fishing communities and good people and crack, and as in crack, like CRAIC, because I'm Irish, right? They have crack down there and, you know, Streatch and all that good stuff. But I'm learning drugs, lots of police corruption. Very sad indeed. Police protect their own over the actual people they claim to protect. I think this is why we see the paint jobs on cars changed. There's no longer serve and protect. That's just out of it. And somebody replied to me, who I believe was a police officer, and said, it's not their mandate to protect the people. I'm like, and then I don't believe it was actually in the RCMP spelled out, code of conduct spelled out to protect the people. It's to enforce the law, but not to protect the people. Yeah, Hell's Angels, very big. There was one guy that was released. I think he had 15 years he was in. Hell's Angels. Nova Scotia. Released from jail. 18 years, this guy. Hells Angels hitman. Dean Daniel Kelsey. Now, and this is getting probably out of the purview that I'm sticking to, shiny things, but I have looked into this business about the bikers and things like that. And I mean, you guys live down there, right? Who you must be obviously astutely aware of the biker issue down there. Is it a big thing? A lot of drug trade run by bikers? He said he was high on cocaine at the time of the murder and was under the pressure of his uncle, who told him to do the killing. Kelsey said during his time in prison, he has completed high school and all other programs available to him. He also kicked the cocaine habit. That's great. I'm glad he kicked the cocaine habit. Satan's Choice amalgamated with the Outlaws, at least in Ontario. No, those weren't the names of the biker games. One was just a one-word name. What the hell was it called? I thought it began with a D or something. Red Devils. Yeah, that was one. What was the other one? It was just one word. The Darksiders. Then you've got Sedition and the Highlanders. Lots of bikers. Gatekeepers. There you go. That's the one I was thinking of. Gatekeepers. It is a big thing, but no one talks about it. If you get back to them, you're talking about their business. It won't be good for you. Lots of drugs come through Halifax port, apparently, too. I know Montreal is big source. If any of you want to hop on and give me your thoughts, I'm going to try and figure out some way that you guys can call in or something, but until that point, I can share a link. So if anybody wants to join me and share their thoughts or what they've come up with, that would be great. You can send me a message on Twitter, Tweety Twatter, and I'll give you my thing here. Here's the link to that. Just send me a DM. Is that mom guy still in prison? I think he's out. Mom Boucher? I think. there we go. Mont Boucher. Yeah. The Warlocks. Quebec, Ontario ship east. Montreal pass through the border. See, there was another thing I was thinking about, and I mentioned on, I think it was last night or in a couple of streams. He could take the RCMP cruiser. Not only could he do his business if he was doing drugs and things like that kind of stuff, he can also take the cruiser and go down to the border. And the Border Patrol, funnily enough, is also involved in all this investigation. Is that just to do with the weapons coming from the United States, which didn't get confiscated? His dad talked about how he had a shotgun and Halifax PD didn't do anything about it. They just let him keep it, even though he doesn't have a license. The missing children. Jesus, that's a whole other gigantic ball of mess. Human trafficking done by all governments through their organized crime. He's still inside. 10 years. Sentence in 2018 that will life concurrent. He was serving for 97. The 97 murder of 2 prison guards. I thought you were saying he murdered 97 people. I'm like, wow. That sounds like that would be pretty bad. 97 people. One surprised how many people bikers, but not in a bike gang. Many rabbit holes, I know. Too many to You want to get on here, Naughty? Anybody want to say hello, or should I wrap it up? I don't think I'm going to find anything. Has anybody come across anything about Joey Webber? I think the business about the Teresa Gould, Steve Streatch being married is rather interesting, because that was the once you hit the border, a lot of times people don't realize real crimes must go to RCMP. The link, everything background. They are a huge organization. Huge. These people are so powerful. Like, I was thinking about it. Thanks, Missy. I was thinking about how big the RCMP are in terms of power. Like, you think that they're in control of the airports. They most all of the cities in Canada, save a few select ones outside of Quebec and Ontario. Burnaby, Surrey, North Van, West Van, those are all RCMP. Red Deer's RCMP. I don't know about Saskatchewan. One of the cities, I believe, is RCMP. So this huge behemoth of a investigative body, which has a lot of power and not a lot of questions get asked of it. And anytime they get in trouble, well, we're never going to hear about it. Yeah, I don't think they like people who pretend. Secret tunnels. Just trying to stick with this case for now. The powers that be. Oh yes, the pig farm. Yeah, you see, the pig farm was RCMP. That was kind of bungled a little bit. Lloyd Minister hired RCMP. Nobody want to join me? Ah, come on. You don't have to be that scared. Picton Farms is RCMP and Turdo involvement. Really? I didn't know that about the Trudeau Foundation involvement. I'll have to look at that one day. AWOL, what's up, man? Zero, zero, zero. You'll join me, Loretta? Well, send me a message on whoever wants to join me. Send me a message on Twitter, Tweeties. You can follow me too if you want. You can like the video and share it, subscribe it too. Just saying. Because of my very poor planning skills, you can ding the bell if you'd like. Just saying. What if Weber was the guy seen running from the burning cruisers? Koff shot him and disappeared the tracker. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, why is the messages stopped? That's interesting. That's back there. Just send me a message on Loretta. Send me a message on Twitter, direct message, and I'll link you the invite. It's good to get other people's perspectives. That's why I want to try and get it set up so that people can call, and then because it's good to hear other people's perspectives. Wow. Well, that's definitely a pretty serious allegation. Yeah, lots of people are going to have a lot to pay for, Pepe. Lots of people. Hopefully I won't be on that list. Red Rose Patriot followed me with 3 stars. Hello, Red Rose. Is that you, Loretta? Okay, here. I'll send you. Is that you? Well, I'll just presume it's you. Give me 1 second here. Lowest of the low, pandemic. Straight out of pandemics. There you go. I'm presuming that's you. Oh, it's you. Missy, do you want to hop in? Bikers. Let's see what else is on cert. I'm wondering if any of these officers appeared on cert at any point in time. No. You just followed. Okay. Are you shy, Missy? Thanks for the follow. I followed, didn't I? Follow. There you go. All right. If nobody wants to join me, then I'm going to wrap it up for now. See if I can get some more stuff in line. Didn't get a ton here. Got a few names, but got some good chat in and came up with some kind of working theories some more. So that's good. And really appreciate you guys joining me. I think I'm going to actually go over and watch Critical Thinker, who is live right now, which is awesome. Any of you guys. Careful of Q, lots of half-truths. All right. It'd be great to chat with you. All right. Thanks, everybody. Anything that you come across, please let me know over on Twitter. Please, if you feel so inclined and have, some spare funds to donate. Tara needs some help. We all do sometimes, right? And so I left her information in the box below. And if you transfer it, I think directly via e-transfer, you don't get dinged fees, and she doesn't get dinged fees. So what a rip-off scheme that is. GoFundMe, they charge you on both ends. Kind of a spit roast. Anyways, thanks very much, everybody. Have a great day.